Hello everyone, welcome to MCQs for Judiciary Exams. Question number 1. Under Section 319 of the CRPC, on what basis can a court summon additional accused? Option A, on the basis of investigation material. Option B, on the basis of evidence recorded during trial. Option C, on the basis of police charge sheet. And option D, on the basis of FIR statements. The correct answer is option B. The Allahabad High Court in Ram Narayan Ram Daroga and others versus State of UP and another clarified that the power under Section 319 CRPC to summon additional accused can be exercised only on the basis of evidence adduced during trial, not on materials collected during investigation. The court set aside a magistrate's order summoning additional accused, holding that such power must arise from the trial court's assessment of evidence, not investigation records. Question number 2. Can calling off a marriage after a courtship period amount to breach of promise to marry? Option A, always yes. Option B, only if it causes emotional distress. Option C, not necessarily if based on reasoned choice. And option D, always no. The correct answer is option C. In Naveen Yadav versus State of NCT of Delhi, the Delhi High Court observed that ending a relationship after courtship cannot automatically be seen as a breach of promise to marry. Justice Arun Monga noted that when two consenting adults decide not to proceed with marriage after knowing each other better, it is a legitimate exercise of personal choice, not deception or false promise. Question number 3. Inadequacy of consideration is relevant in determining the question of option A, fraud, option B, misrepresentation, option C, undue influence, and option D, free consent. The correct answer is option D. While a contract doesn't need to have adequate consideration to be valid, courts can consider the gross inadequacy of consideration when assessing whether a party's consent was truly free. If the consideration is so lopsided that it raises suspicion of coercion, undue influence, or fraud, then the court might deem the consent invalid. Question number 4. The burden of proving that the case of the accused comes within any of the general exceptions in the Indian Penal Code is upon the option A, prosecution, option B, court, option C, accused, and option D, investigating police officer. The correct answer is option C. According to Section 105 of the Indian Evidence Act, when a person is accused of any offence, the burden of proving the existence of circumstances bringing the case within any of the general exceptions in the Indian Penal Code or within any special exception or proviso contained in any other part of the same code or in any law defining the offence is upon him, and the court shall presume the absence of such circumstances. Question number 5. Mistake as to law in force in India makes the contract option A, void, option B, voidable, option C, neither void nor voidable, and option D, impossible to perform. The correct answer is option C. Under the principle of ignorance of law is no excuse, parties are expected to know the laws of the land, so mistake about Indian law does not affect the validity of the contract. Section 21 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 states that a mistake as to any law in force in India does not make the contract voidable. It's the time for practice question. A review petition is maintainable where option A, the review applicant has already filed an appeal which is pending. Option B, the opposite party files an appeal after review petition was filed. Option C, appeal filed by the review applicant has been dismissed by a speaking order on merits. And option D, filing of appeal by any side is immaterial. Pin down your answers in the comment section below.